Yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Got myself Shaq with Tobias. All right, Tobias. 24 hours to dissect everything. Rock bottom now. It is the depths of the depths. Can't beat a team like Tottenham, who never win, regardless win trophies. You lose 1-0. Never look like scoring. I think questions need to be talked about your manager. The stage is yours. You know more than me. But bro, it has to be about him now. He's been there long enough.
This was it. This was always going to be the problem, isn't it? In terms of how long can you lose for, and it not be a problem. He's been losing basically since he's got here, and it's not been a problem. So, the sooner or later, obviously, questions were going to start being asked if it continued the way it was going. Yesterday was just diabolical in all aspects. Probably worst final I've seen ever.
Yeah, but Tobias, forget the worst. Forget the final in a sense of how it played. You just got to win. As a neutral, maybe as a
no,
person,
that's no shots at Tottenham. It's not like at all.
But as a fan, you just got to win the game.
Oh yeah, of course. And that was without Son, Kulusevski, Maddison. So they was a depleted team. Bergvall. And who did we have out? Maybe Martinez, De Ligt. A couple of players come back from injury. But I just don't know how he can continue to get so many things so wrong. Like having Mount and Shaw start the game, criminal within itself.
But Tobias, yeah, this country's a bit weird. I don't know how it is in other countries, but it feels like foreign managers get more of a bligh. Because if this was Gareth Southgate, imagine if Gareth Southgate, because the rumors are now, is it Ashworth who was the chief? Is it for 6 months? He wanted,
he wanted Southgate,
and
wanted
yeah. So basically, they sacked my man because they wanted AMORIM. If this was Southgate, this would be like World War II. He would actually have to go. To me, it's weird. Like, this guy has got a worse win rate than every manager you've had in a Premier League era. But it feels like you guys are still backing him. It's like he's the regen of Sir Alex Ferguson reborn. It's like, I don't get it. How is this guy still getting a bligh? This talking about, it's not his players. But you dealt with the cards you're dealt with. And you try and make it work. The team's gone backwards. I don't know how you could justify it as a chairman to give him 150 million pounds.
But the problem is, give me one positive in his era. Give me just one. Just tell me one positive in his era.
No, you can't.
I've said it in the previous podcast, but you've taken players like Manu and Garnacho, whatever anyone thinks of those players, they were our better players, and they was progressing at a good rate, and they was our better players. And now you can't see them for nothing.
Kobbie Mainoo was playing in European Championship finals, semi-finals, and playing well. He's gone from semi-final and playing in a final of a Euros to can't get in a game for Man United, who are basically could have been fighting for relegation. I just don't get it.
But it is like suicide. It's like because you started off with trying a Cass and Bruno experiment early on. When he was playing there and Bruno deep, you knew that didn't work. Hence the reason that reluctantly you went to Agate and Cass, and in Europe that was working. Then you like everything about the whole lineup, the substitutions, everything about his whole tenure. Tell me a positive. And I'm not a man. Listen, I'm not a person that wants managers out. That's not how I roll.
But Tobias, we called this after about 2-3 months, And then there's a few comments or they were trying to kill us to say we're stupid, we don't know what we're talking about. We called this after about 2 months. This guy looks like he's a bust. We called it from early. It's like the way he's going on, this guy looks like a fraud. He looks clueless. And over months after months after months, it's got worse and worse and worse. And it looks like we are right. The guy is a fraud. The guy don't know what he's doing. He's tactically inept. What you were talking about, the substitutions were crazy. We were talking about it in the group chat, and I said, no matter what you say about Garnacho, the guy will create chances. It doesn't matter if he comes in for 5 minutes or 25 minutes. You bring him on, the game changes.
Listen, I understand why he wanted to go for Mount, because that more suits the way he wants to play. I get it in that. But how does Mount get a game? He hasn't played for over a year.
2 years.
Like 2 years, over a year, but he hasn't been there since you've been there. So you're telling me those training sessions,
he's been
and that one cameo against Athletic is the reason why he got picked for the final.
He's been raving about
Mount. Shout out to Mount, because every manager loves Mount.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
He's like the manager's dream.
He must do bits in training.
He must be that guy. You know what I mean?
Every manager loves him.
Every manager loves him. And we said as soon as he started Mount and we go one down, Ugarte was never going to hit the pitch because it's a pointless sub. You don't start. You give Mount that cameo.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been angry. Out of all the players, if you wanted to drop someone to accommodate Mount, you drop Højlund. Højlund's been absolutely toiletries. Awful. He has been that bad. He cannot trap cement, this boy. He's struggling, and you're just throwing him to the wolves. If you really wanted to play Mount, play the false nine.
Yeah,
because we had no creativity further up the pitch anyway. We had no. It was just lethargic everywhere. We had no pace, we had no drive. We had no creativity. We lacked everywhere, and you don't make us up until the 71st minute. Mental. Tottenham just done a job. They done a job. They said, you know what, Man U will give you the ball.
Yeah.
They just wait.
Yeah.
They're not going to create nothing because they don't score much. You can give them the wings as much as you want, because who they crossing it to? No one's ever in the box. No one's ever in the box. Even our wingers or 10s, whatever you want to call them at the minute, aren't making the back post or making any form of runs. So just sit back. They will give you the ball and you'll get a chance. Because every cross or every free kick that they had, they just put it in that area, in between the 6-yard box and Onana.
Like I said, I don't know how you can actually outlay and justify giving him 100.
There's no way you can. There's no way you
can't.
can.
But that's what I'm saying. So they're in a predicament. There is no way you can justify giving him 100, 150 million pounds. He's threw 90% of these players under the bus. None of them now don't want to play for him. Garnacho now is going to get sold because he's basically come out of a tweet. But I understand where he's coming from. Maybe the wrong timing. He's thinking, I've been playing all this time, and then Mason Mount comes from nowhere and plays ahead of me. And it just makes no sense. Kobe Mainoo is maybe thinking, fuck this, I'm going now. I must go Chelsea because this guy doesn't rate me. Like, all the players he's got there, it feels like they don't want to play for him.
Problem, though.
But that's what I'm saying. But he doesn't have the money to get the players. So it's most probably easier to sack him, because you might get a manager in who can keep these players and try get a tune out of them.
Chat, the problem before we even come, I said we don't have this type of players that suit how he wants to play. Our better players don't suit it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
Tobias, can't you make it better? Because I've seen Crystal Palace.
Listen, I'm not. I'm on. You're there to make players better. And if you can't take moldable youngsters that have ability and make them better players.
It's mad. You're not good a manager then.
Then what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? You have to adapt. Like, everything about it. He was that stubborn yesterday that's why the subs were so late. Because he wanted these men to dig him out of a hole so he can say, I told you so. Like, but it didn't. And the later it got, this is why we left it to 70 minutes. And then even though throwing Maguire up top and that, is this what it's come to? This is what we're
Bro,
doing?
it's this new generation of managers. I don't want to digress, but like I said, the reason why Liverpool have won the league is that their manager's been more adaptable. When he's realized games where we're struggling, he might go to a low block. He might play counter-attack. There's other ways of playing. It just feels like these new generation of managers, no matter what,
it's one way.
It's one way.
It can't be one way.
What? That's crazy. It's never been like that.
Yeah,
it's literally as when you're back in the day. If you look at the players you've got, you think, okay, this suits a three at the back. I'm going to play a three at the back. But if I've got a team where I've got loads of wingers, they're all quick, they're all direct, why would I play a three at the back? I need to play a 4-3-3 and get my wingers in play. You just adapt to what you've got. Now it's like managers, no, we're not adapting. We're playing this way, and that's it. That's mad. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I see and he's been there long enough that I need to see a pattern in the final third.
Yeah, it's none.
You're playing this. If you're playing this way and this is your way, then I need to see why it's your way. I need to some sort of pattern or some runs coming off people, plays. I haven't seen anything of that sort. It's just side to side again. And then what we end up doing is having the inverted bloody wing back in the midfield who can't do anything there anyway. And it's just crazy. The only ones that come out of the game yesterday with any form of respect from me would have been Euro and Dorgu. They're the only two.
Euro's looking like now. He's looking like you can see why a lot of clubs are after him. He was good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
I like him. I think he's a project, but I think he's got raw attributes.
Dorgu's going to end up in the same situation as Højlund. If you're putting your hat on him and saying that that's your number one fullback at his age, you're killing him.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with Højlund. As much like
he's just not good enough to be real.
I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's as bad as what we're making him out to be right now.
But to outlay £72 million on a guy who got like 10 goals.
Yeah, but that was his first season. That's just that's just us. That just sums us up in a nutshell. Like one season at Atlanta, it wasn't even a crazy season.
No. So you're just buying potential. You're buying upside.
Yeah, but tell me one positive from AMORIM, and then I can make
I think there's none. I've been saying this for the first 2 months. I think you can tell quite quickly if a manager's about it, if a manager's not. I think he's a fraud. I really do. I hope you keep it because I'm a Liverpool supporter. But looking at him, bro, he's a fraud. He just talks and talks rubbish. He just says everything what the media wants him to say. And it sounds amazing. And the media
want him to hear.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I've never seen a set of fans so stupid.
I'll leave without a payoff. So,
shut up.
I don't give a shit about the money anyway. Yeah. What are you talking about?
This guy, bro. On, man. I think this guy is trash. And it's still Man United fans, which is mad to me.